Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of our Project Architect 2 Modpack playthrough. Hope today's going swell and well for you so far. As for me, well, I can't complain. And so, without further ado, let's dive into another episode. So, I've made quite a bit of progress actually in between episodes here, and it's because, well, y'all know I had a day where I didn't post a video, and so generally whenever that happens, it's not like I don't go and play some, it's just I don't have time to record. Maybe it's time, maybe it's volume in the house, whatever it may be. I just end up not having time. So with that being said, we're gonna do a little bit of catching up. First and foremost, with the stuff in the wall, none of it means anything. I just wanted more stuff to sort of decorate out the place. It was starting to look pretty good down in here, and I was like, I think the walls need a little bit more love, and there's still something missing, some kind of techie, mechanical, or maybe bio something. There's something missing connecting everything in the walls, but we'll figure that out, how it all sort of conjoins together. But essentially we have a windmill here for mechanism, and it is just blowing right along. If you want to know how I have it working, there's a hole. You have to have a hole to the surface, or like, straight up to the sky in order for these to spin. Otherwise they won't do it. So there's that. The water mill over here from Create, again, it's not powering anything, it's just spinning for the hell of it. I went through and made the rainbow furnace and made all of the other furnaces in sequence so as to get them powered. You can tell that it's powered. If I break this, I gotta break all of this. Should have a little effect going off on it. Let's see. Everything should be pulling power. Let's see. This is really complicated. Pull. Pull. Technically, this should be pulling all of the power into the trash can there. Almost done. There are a lot of these. Again, we're not using the power for anything. It's generating somewhere above 50k when it's operating correctly. All right, so that should... No, it's still not draining it. What? Oh, is it because I don't have this set up? Yeah. Output. Does that work? I should get the tool that saves the configurations for these. I know there's one that exists. Just not done it. Some things I'm like, well, I'm not really going to use it more than this one time, so what's it matter? All right. Well, now I'm just genuinely confused because these cables should be transferring the power into the trash can. It's an energy trash can. So maybe the trash can isn't working. Everything's on pull. Could, of course, try this with... No, I'm certainly not going to have any in there. Try this with pipes energy cables. So let's take these. And we'll take out some of these. And the problem with this is I can't go above the ceiling, so I'm gonna have to find some way to break out of here. Just go right here. There. Just break all the glass. This is purely aesthetic, so you know, just understand that I'm only doing this for, I guess, shits and giggles. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. There we go. Now it's actually working. That also makes me question the cables from power. Yeah, well. What are you gonna do, you know? No, actually, I should probably go back here as well. It's fine. This block apparently breaks in no time. Drain all of these. And there we go. Now it's working. You can tell because the particles, obviously. That's full. That's full. Can't really change priority on these, can you? You can only do nearest, furthest, round robin. I wonder if this thing will tell me, it will not tell me how much is being stored in there. That is unfortunate. There we are. Then we just got to put the glass back on front because I really like the particles. I'm not sure if they'll stay when we put the glass back on, but I certainly hope so. Yeah, they're kind of still there. I should really use building gadgets for this, but I mean, it's so few pieces comparatively to, I guess, what I typically use building gadgets for, so it's fine. There we go. Yeah, we got the particles. All right, so that's solved. Not that it really meant anything, but I mean, if you do want to do that for energy for whatever reason, essentially the way that it works is there's this rainbow furnace. You can make it by getting this rainbow plating and rainbow core. The rainbow plating comes from making one of all of the furnaces. So it'll give you 8, which is exactly what you need in order to make the furnace, right? The core just comes from stained glass and 2 netherite furnaces. And obviously, once you have EMC, a lot of this is easily obtainable. Then it says it will generate 50,000 RF per tick if all other furnaces are generating power. So, I mean, I guess with enough of these, you can really get some decent power going. And especially once you get netherite unlocked. So, do whatever you will with it. But you do need them all running constantly. You need them all generating power constantly. So, that's essentially why I'm emptying it into a trash can, because I don't actually care about the power. I'm not going to use it. We have that kind of solved for now. If I ever do need power, 50,000 is probably not going to cut it, which we will need power in the future. But what I have set up right now, it's going to be okay. So moving on over, we went into the create mod so we could get chocolate and get the chocolate berry, which I don't have on there. This is not a very difficult mod to get into, and especially with all the resources that are on YouTube now. So if you really need a tutorial, then I recommend going and checking that out. As far as specificity for this mod pack goes, what I would recommend as being the best, quickest route, whatever you want to call it, focus on getting the electric motor first. Just beeline it exactly for the electric motor. All right, so you'll need some mechanical crafters. Most of this stuff you can actually make in the multi-servo press from thermal, so that's really useful and really handy. The one thing I will say that you absolutely need in this is the mechanical crafters. Okay, so more than one thing, but bear with me. The mechanical crafters, you will need the pressing machine, because that's the only way to get the zinc sheets that you need for the capacitors. And of course, you're going to need the rolling machine for the iron rods, as well as for copper wire. So, once again, you'll need mechanical crafters for the general of it. You'll need the rolling machine for these 4 centerpieces, and you'll need the pressing machine for the capacitor. So, I don't have the rolling machine out here, but it's literally just a 1 block sort of setup, and I don't know. I didn't want this thing to be too long. I don't really plan on using create. I'll use this probably in the future, the little pokey deployer device, just because I really like the textures of the encased blocks. So we'll probably use that. But everything else, I mean, we're kind of set up for Archmeat. Archmeat? I'm not sure what's the actual spelling on this stuff. Is it yeah. It's either Archmeat or Archimete. Kind of like Archimedes. That makes more sense. Archimete. All right, just getting started. So yeah, you'll need the mechanical crafters for automating this process, but once you get the plushies, see how they're all EMCable, automating this becomes really easy, because then we just set up things on the back here to insert into each crafter, and then it's off to the races. It's just going to make infinite Archimete, and then we can just throw that in. So what does this actually cost to make? Because you're getting 50 million off of it. It's going to take 10, 11, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 million to make. 50 million is what you get. So a net game of 30 million. And honestly, our crafters go pretty freaking quickly. So we'll see how quickly we can churn out some, what's it called? Anyways, the reason I say go for the electric motor is because it solves the whole how much stress do I need. Let me put 50 million water mills up. And now, don't get me wrong, if you want to put 50 million water mills up and do it that way, go for it. But if you just want to get into create for the things that you need, then this is kind of what I recommend. The electric motor, what is nice about it is you can power it using flux or FE, RF, whatever kind of energy you want to call it. And then you just kind of set the spin rate. So if you click and hold, I can turn this really far down where it's barely spinning at all, and I can turn it really high up. You can also turn which way it spins. So if I turn it here, now you'll notice they're all spinning backwards, or at least what I consider backwards. That may be forwards for you, but I prefer to do things typically left to right in processing, same way that I read, right? And right, I guess. Anyways, as far as automating this, I don't have it automated yet, simply because I haven't needed to automate it. Whenever you're making chocolate, you make one instance of it, and then you're good to go. But I probably will end up automating at least the deployer. My methodology for that will be to hook this up using exporters and importers on the chest, or maybe even throwing a crafter on it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that'll be sort of future endeavors. And again, we have the mechanical crafters already pre-set up for what's called. If you're wondering, Chance, for the electric motor here, you need what looked like a different setup. And to that, I will say you are correct. So for making the electric motor, you actually need 12 of these things. You'll need a 9x9, and then you'll need the 3 sides. I don't plan on making any more electric motors. If I do, I'll throw the other 3 crafters back on, you know what I mean? But as of right now, it's just not important. It's not needed. It's not necessary. Now, as far as enclosing this in glass, I'm just not going to do it right now. Perhaps when it's fully automated, then we can enclose it. But we're still going to be messing with the crafters, with the deployer. Probably not with the other 2 things, but they look cool in conjunction. So, it's whatever. Well, let's go here, and then I'll go there, because that's actually kind of the main topic for today. So naturally, I avoid it till the very end. No, we will get to it quickly, hopefully. One thing I will make note of is the uranite, which once had a EMC value and EMC value. Nope, well, that's the wrong key. No longer does. Now, I didn't spell something right there. Oh, uranite. Urine? That's not a good name. You should really take out one of those N's and I's. Uranite? Uranite? Really? Anyways, So the actual stuff that you need to go into your reactors, I guess it's not really going to show me here, but the stuff that you fuel your reactors with, it's no longer EMCable. However, the raw stuff still is, and you can gather this really easily either through energizing it or even just through smelting it, which, you know, I'm not going to lie. This is nice. This is really, really a nice recipe here, because I don't remember this ever really being viable in the past. Maybe it was, and maybe I just never went for it, but it feels more appropriate and more apropos to use the mod that it comes from in order to make more of it. So we are actually taking our raw uranite, which has EMC. So of course we have a EMC link and everything else kind of set up down below, which we'll get to. You can just send it into a furnace, and obviously furnaces can work extremely fast. However, this is certainly nothing to sneeze at either. If I take out these two, I mean, you see how quickly it works. So over here we have dry ice. I did say eventually we'd get a setup going. So dry ice is simply made using blue ice, as you can see there. Whoops, I went into the inventory. So there you go. 2 pieces of blue ice will give you 1 piece of dry ice. And this is really nice because it is the best solid coolant, I believe. Yep, best solid coolant for power. I think that's about it there. So let's run underneath real quick just to show you the setup for those two. I think it's right here. So up top, of course, we have the laser node that is hooked up to the energizing orb. Down below, we have another laser node that is hooked up to the resulting storage box or oak drawer, whatever you want to call it, and the raw material, which is just basically acting as a buffer, so we're not just pulling straight from the link into whatever else. I like to always have a buffer. So yeah, then you just set the link to whatever you're trying to use. So in this case, it's raw uranite. It's going to pull it in here, send it up, and blast it on through. And then we have an external storage connector, so that way I can always access this. I don't have void put on because I'm not worried about it. It stops the machine this way. If I put void on it, then the machine will just constantly run and be creating them for virtually no reason. This way, it's only going to create more when anything above this, 2000 whatever is used. Same thing over here, literally the exact same setup. So pretty simple there, and I hope that's understandable. If not, again, Direwolf, the creator of the Laser IO mod, has made a mod spotlight video for this, and I think he's even made an updated one. So go check that out if you're really confused or really need to know how to use this mod. Anyways, that gives us all the dry ice and uranite that we could ever possibly need in order to fuel our new power source, which is this over here. And if you couldn't tell, these are 4 niotic. Is it niotic? I'm saying niotic and it's sounding wrong. 4 nitro. What's niotic? Niotic is diamond. Okay, so it is 4 nitro reactors. You notice this has a generation factor of 500,000, which means at peak efficiency, it can have 500,000 EMC being generated from it, which is pretty nice. And it has a max extract of 2 million, so can really send through a whole lot of power very quickly. That being said, we may need to upgrade in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But if so, it's pretty modular. We can throw more down this way. We can even throw more into the ground or some into the wall. It's fun. So right now this is generating us 2.5 million RF or FE, whatever the unit is, because we also have one over here. So 500,000 plus over there, we're making 2 million. I feel like that's enough. The max extract for this is 2 million. So like we're making more power than what we can possibly extract, which is a good feeling generally. Anyways, I've still not automated this past the fact that I just come over here and throw in a shit ton of materials and get them all back. But you know, whatever works for you. Our wall has gotten more ridiculous. I don't think there's any bit denying that. Looks like our RF tools dimension things. Let's hit snag. So if you can get no structures in your dimension, it's definitely highly recommended. If you can't, however, I have come up with a little solution here. So what I have is a trash can that pulls items out of the chest, and we have blocks of diamond blacklisted. So, oh, I guess this got to the end of the rainbow there. Let's say maybe 140. I'm not really sure what the dimensions on this are. I know I can hit preview and it should. Oh, that's actually pretty helpful. Let's see. Can't actually go in the blocks. It's helpful, but it's doesn't let me. Oh shit. Be careful of preview mode, ladies and gentlemen. You will delete everything. Okay. Oops. That sucks. I'm pretty sure that was a hefty amount of stuff. Oh well. Now I think the max offset you can do for this is like 260, right? Sort of on both sides. And let me hit preview. I'm not going to. Well, fuck it. Never mind. Can I turn preview off? Just start it. How about that? It's working. We're good. All right. One thing that I didn't ever really mention with this is you can infuse these to make them go faster. So you'll notice right now we're making 41 million. If you're wondering, like, hey, I'm only getting like 4 million or whatever it was I was getting before, it's because you haven't infused your machine, and you just have to make an infuser. So let's see, machine infuser. And then you just throw whatever machine you're trying to infuse in there with some dimensional shards. These bad boys, which you should probably put on autocraft just because it's easy enough to. But yeah, 41 million EMC per second. Not too shabby. And we've hit trillions, which is a nice place to be in. We'll probably need more, just saying, because the white EMC link. Okay, there we go. The white EMC link is 771 billion EMC. So I don't even think I can get 2 of those. It's like a one and done kind of thing. That being said, I do already have one down, so, or at least I did. Did I pick it back up? Let's go check. I did. Okay. All right. Well, you know, that's fine too. One other major update, actually. This is pretty huge because it does make things, well, just a lot easier. Removes the need for a couple tasks, that kind of stuff. All of project expansion, from what I've seen at least, is now EMCable. So the fuel has EMC, the matter has EMC, and the links have EMC. So obviously in between episodes, I've kind of gone through and made one of everything just to get it into the system. And why not, you know? So this says that this costs 771 and it has an EMC limit of 72 quadrillion. I don't know that we'll ever hit that amount, but if so, cool. All right. Speaking of EMC gains, this little new section right here is also actually meant to be just basically a large EMC farm for as many EMC farms as I can think of. Whether they're good or bad, I don't really care. I just want to make a lot of them, and then I'm going to throw some glass over the top of this thing after we have what I would consider a sufficient amount. So some of these EMC farms may be like a log farm, right? Using phytogenic insulator just to make oak logs and saplings and apples. So again, a pointless farm at this point, but something to do, reason to use different machines and have different outputs and yada yada yada. And then maybe we stumble onto a really good one. Who knows? But we'll see. That's basically what that's being earmarked for. So we went over the reactors. I don't know if I did this in last episode. This is just industrial foregoing, so it's everything we have set up over there, just behind glass and with an ender tank, pumping the fluids in. We went over that one, I know. Went over that one and that. All right, now into the meat and potatoes, I believe. Probably forgetting something, but that's all right. Draconic Evolution. A mod that is in a lot of mod packs as an in-game thing. I'm not gonna lie, I've never made Draconic armor or used the modules or really anything. If I could avoid it in the past, I pretty much did. So this time we're kind of taking it face on and we're gonna figure it out together, hopefully. And if not, well, just let me know down in the comments. I'll send you a good video link to something that I think explains it pretty well. So the long and short of it, essentially, in Draconic Evolution, you have a fusion crafting core, which is basically your center catalyst. And maybe this will make more sense if we take a look at a recipe. So here's the recipe for a Draconic core. So here in the middle, this is going to be your fusion crafting core, right? That's kind of the middle piece. You see I have nether stars in there because I was just crafting the fusion the Draconic core. Sorry. I was like, why am I reading this? Anyways, and then you'll notice that it has these sides, which I don't think you actually have to have it set up in that fashion, 1 2 2 1 2 2 1 and whatever. But you do need them around this. These little crafting fusion injectors need to be 2 blocks away. And if you're going for the Draconic core, which of course you should be as it's part of the main quest line, you will need fusion crafting. That's what I was looking for. It's like, what am I looking for? Because now I just see a whole bunch of random stuff. Okay, so you'll need this one to start out with, the Draconium one. However, it's not going to have enough power to get you to Draconic cores. And the way that you can see this is if you... Oh, shit. Just cleared that. Did not mean to. So you can see what tier of inscriber or whatever it's called, injector, here at the top. So it says tier Wyvern. So the base one is Draconium. And then if we move up from that, we go into Wyvern, which is the purple one that I have. We go up from that, it's Draconic, then Chaotic. And it looks like that's it. That's the end of the line. All right. So hopefully that all makes sense. We're going to go ahead and craft something so that way you get like a, I don't know, first-hand sort of experience with it. I've already done all of these. Let's see what else can we do. So we have the Wyvern one. Oh. Sorry, big yawns. Where is that sucker at? Well, let's just go here. All right, so in order to upgrade the Wyvern one, we're going to need an awakened Draconian block, 4 diamonds, and 2 of these Wyvern cores. Let's go ahead and bookmark this. Take the nether stars out. And now let's see what we need. 4 diamonds. So let's go 16, sure. I hear 16 is indeed more than 4. Oh shit, I didn't mean to toss that quantum interloper, whatever the hell that is. I know it's needed for a quest, but as far as knowing what it actually is, yeah. Come on. Draconic. What? Where's my... Is it in my backpack? Ah, there it is. And how many do we need for this? Just one. So there's that. And then we need 2 of the cores. So let's just go at Draconic. Wyvern 2, start and go. Nice. Alright, so we need 2 of these, some of those. What's the rest of it? The block, right. These set to stack? Nope, set to 1 item. 4, 2, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And then I just need one of these injectors. And there you go. So that's literally it. You look at all the items on the side, you throw them into some random amalgamation on these little side events. Put whatever is in the top slot into the top slot, and you'll get the bottom slot. Now, it does have to charge before it crafts. So you'll see here it's crafting. Once it's 100, you get your item back. However, in the beginning, it also has to charge, so it has to get enough energy, essentially. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm going to take this out and put it back. I'll upgrade all of them if we end up needing to do that, but for the time being, not really what we're focused on right now. You know, outside of just showing you that. Everything else so far has been fairly straightforward with Draconic. It uses a lot of power. I had 3 million FE per tick being drained on it at one point. Oh, right. So yeah, that's, I mean, as far as what I know that I need for progressing, right? That was, I believe it. I mean it. Draconic core. Yeah. So you'll also notice as I come into my quest book here, we've completed a couple of these now. We've completed the cooking one. Kind of plowed through that. I'm gonna put it real blunt here, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, excuse my French. Fuck the Bumblezone. It was one of the more annoying ones to do, and yeah, it just didn't. It's cool, but I didn't have a great time with it. After a certain point, it's just because there are a lot of achievements within this. Now, one thing I will say as far as being sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Insightful as you're going down this, because I'm not about to go all the way through the Bumblezone. And oftentimes when they add a new zone in mod packs, this is just, you know, directed at Chosen. This is always whenever a new zone is added in a mod pack, they make you go and find something, complete a quest, spend some time in that zone. That I understand. Usually it's a little too long for my personal taste. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying, me personally, I don't like to be in a new zone for that long, just sort of plowing through walls looking for whatever, you know? And there are compasses in this that'll help you find the locations and yada, yada, yada. But the main thing that I want to get across is the fact that if you come into advancements, at least for me, I have my UI set to scale 3. Well, I can only zoom up and down. I can't go left and right. So what I had to end up doing, which of course took me a while to figure out, and maybe this was partly what added to the frustration, and maybe get a big ass magnifying glass, because now you'll see that you can see all the way out to the end of the quest line. And this is going to be useful when you start going through the queen bees kind of stuff. So just be mindful. No bee joke intended there. Just be mindful of that fact. And you know what? Let's go ahead and let's go into the bee zone, because it's cool. Like I said, it's just not something that I really felt I should be on camera flying around looking for this one specific block right here, or structure, I guess. This is going to be the queen bee's hive. Come on in here. You want strawberries? Not gonna lie, girl, you probably ain't getting strawberries. But you can trade her various items. I think she'll take sugar. Yeah. And she'll give you stuff back. You can look at this in... Oh, I don't know. I think Dead Bush has one. Pretty much anything that you can get from her. Oh no, you use Dead Bush? You use Dead Bush. And then you can click on the top here at Bee Queen Trades and color trades. I should change the color stuff for you. But you can basically see what you have percent chance of getting off these trades. Some of the stuff is, well, most of the stuff is bee related, but some of it's like vanilla stuff that might be beneficial to you. I think there's something else you gotta get from trading with her. I think it's the jelly at the end. But, yeah, you know, there's some decent stuff in here if you really just need to trade with her, or if you enjoy the sort of RNG aspect, then good on you, man. Alrighty, any users. So yeah, you'll come into the Bumblezone just by getting a beehive. So one of these right here, right here. Ignore me, please. What I do recommend having some kind of like honey setup, or I mean, you can do another method which I'll show you, or maybe not. Again, there's a lot involved with these new dimensions, and so it's like, well, we can do this one of two ways. We can be meticulous and very slow, and I can explain everything, like why the grass is green, the sky is blue, and rainbows form. Or I can just sort of get through to the end and be like, hey, I saw a rainbow. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, so yeah, Bumblezone, it's all right. This is the ultimate structure you're looking for. And there are compasses that assist you. So there's one that leads you to the queen. Some of them lead you to a cell maze. So careful, because once you enter the cell maze, actually there's a lot of different actions you can do while you're in here that will just basically make the bees condemn you. And that's another reason why I say fuck this place, because it's just not very friendly up until the very end. Whenever you get something that will make it more friendly, I won't spoil it, because if you go through all of this, you deserve to have a little surprise at the end. Okay, so are we back on track then? That got done. I don't really want to go to the deep darker. Also, I don't think I put a waste stone. Oh no. Oh no. Well, now I'm certainly not going back. Essentially, I'll break down the quest just here. You go into the deep dark, which you can form the portal. Hell, I guess I have to go back. Maybe I can do it in another episode. Search. All right. We'll just fly over there. Essentially, you go to this new dimension. There are a couple creatures within that dimension that you need the drops from, which you can either bag them up in a, entity imprisonment or mob imprisonment tool or whatever, or you can just slay them if you don't need that much stuff from them. Alrighty, here we are at the ancient city, so let's go ahead and fall right in. Tell because of my perfect little hole here. Get a sword out. That probably will be decent. And boom. So, you'll want to come down here, clear any skulk vein that may be on these reinforced deep slates. You'll take the heart of a warden, or heart of the deep, whatever it's called. Let's see, heart of the deep, and then you just right click onto the deep slate, pretty much anywhere. Let's bust down in here. It did spawn me in an immense amount of stone. Don't know how I feel about that, but sure, whatever. Then I finally decided to go up, and here we are. The deeper, darker mod, which is... Anyways, as you come into the deep darker, you'll see foes like the Shattered. Just slay them, get their drops. Some of them are needed, some of them are not. But you will need these soul crystals. So the hardest factor in all this, and the one that's kind of a bit ridiculous, is the fact that you have to find, I think, Stalker or some... I'm not sure what the actual word or the name of it is. Stalker. It is Stalker. And essentially these have a very low chance of spawning from a very specific situation, which requires you to go to the deep darker. Ow, shit. And then I would recommend taking an explorer's compass, because then you're going to want to search for, I think it's ancient temple. Yeah, because it'll say source deeper and darker, not the Bumblezone. So ancient temple, then search for this, and you'll find some vases, whatever you want to call it. Break those, and you have the world's smallest chance of getting a stalker. When you do get a stalker, definitely use a mob imprisonment tool or something to capture it, so that way you may force respawn these. Because, you know, you don't want to go find one and you kill it and you don't get any drops, or like me, you get one of the drops and you're like, well, oh well. Anyways, so there's the... Oh shit, these things die so fast. Oh, hey, I guess it's nighttime out. Shit, I keep missing him. Okay, so there he is. Very tall, little boss bar kind of thing will also appear, so you'll really know when you have one spawned in. And yeah. Alright, so with that, we have one completed here with the cooking. We already completed the copper blocks, that's 2. We have the dragon one done, that's 3. We have the B zone, that's 4. And we have deeper and darker, that is 5 of these plushies, all done and done. So we just need 4 more to go. Honestly, this only needs 1 more, the wither. The goat one, what does the goat one need? What are we waiting? The glacial staff. So really not that difficult there. The dragon one, we are all good. That's good. Sponge and helmet. I feel like that's one of the ones that we have the least in. Oh yeah, and the trials. I haven't really done any of the trials. This is all water-based stuff, so yeah, obviously I've not really delved into that too much there. But my goal is for probably by next episode for us to have the Arca meet. And for this to be, I guess, even more functionable. Yeah, not really sure what else. I mean, we have 1 trillion EMCs, so like at some point we don't need those links for everything. Hell, even over here, I don't even have a white link. It's an orange one, because when am I ever gonna import, you know, 8,000 items or whatever? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope Draconic evolution makes a bit more sense. Hopefully I was able to simplify it down a bit for you. It does take a lot of power when you get into the later bits. Like I said, 3 million is, I mean, it's a lot. We don't even generate that per tick. We generate 2.5. So anyways, hopefully you learned something. If so, as always, be sure to leave a like down below. Comment in the comment section if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or tips, tricks that may help me or fellow Minecraft mod pack player enthusiasts. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new here, you want to see more awesome content. Of course, share this out with friends, family, strangers down the street, all that good jazz. As per the usual, I do hope you all as per the usual, I do hope you all stay safe, stay awesome, and stay crafting. Until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful people. Peace out.